Now more than ever, innovative technologies are fueling change and sparking new ways of thinking. Collaboration between corporations and startups is key to staying at the forefront of these trends. However, finding the right startups can be expensive, time-consuming, and ineffective. But Plug and Play is here to help. As a corporate partner, you will gain access to a whole ecosystem of innovation. Discover startups that meet your tech interests. Stay updated on the latest trends and network with industry peers. We will help you during every stage of your innovation journey, no matter where you are and where you want to go. Get in touch today.
Hi everyone, my name is Karina. I'm the Director of Operations for Plug and Play here in Asia Pacific. I also look after strategic partnerships here in the region. That includes the Singapore Hub for the End Plastic Waste program. To officially kickstart the event, I would like to invite our Global Director of our Sustainability Practice, Matthew Claxton, to share with us more about our program overview and activities during the course of this batch. Matthew, please.
Hello everyone, my name is Matthew Claxton. I'm the Global Director of Sustainability at Plug and Play, and welcome to the Plug and Play and Alliance to End Plastic Waste Singapore Expo. We're very excited that you're joining us today. And before we get started with today's event, we just want to walk you through a brief history about Plug and Play for those of you who are new to our platform, and then a little bit more about Plug and Play sustainability and our relationship with the Alliance to End Plastic Waste and how we kind of got here today. So for those of you who don't know, Plug and Play has humble beginnings. It all starts here in our CEO's quote-unquote lucky building, where he was renting office space on the top floor of his Persian rug store. And he came across some pretty interesting companies like PayPal, Google, Logitech, Dropbox. And not only did he rent office space to them, but he also decided to invest pretty early into those companies. And it's easy to say it worked out very well for him. So 16 years ago, he officially started Plug and Play, where we originally functioned a lot like WeWork, where we were renting office space to different startups. And as I got to get to know them, we decided to invest into those companies. And that has really grown into and evolved into what Plug and Play is today. So we are still a VC firm. We do about 200 investments per year, primarily in pre-seed, seed, and some Series A companies. And second off, we run a corporate innovation program. So we work with over 500 organizations around the world, helping them with their innovation journey. For this program, it's more with their sustainability journey. And lastly, we run accelerator programs. We run about 60 of these around the world in all of our different locations and all of our different verticals. And that's actually what we're doing here today with the Alliance to End Plastic Waste. So we are still a pretty strong VC firm. We have some pretty notable unicorns. In 2021 alone, we've had 8 unicorns already, with hopefully a few more that'll be born any day now. And we've been growing very quickly all around the world. So today, Plug and Play has about 39 locations across 18 different industry verticals that we operate, with a few more locations that will be starting early next year. So Plug and Play sustainability is actually just about 2 years old. It all started here with our founding partner, the Alliance to End Plastic Waste, when we started our partnership together back on October 23rd, 2019. So for those of you who do not know, the Alliance to End Plastic Waste is a global consortium of at least 50 companies from all around the world that have each pledged to end plastic waste in the environment and are contributing into a collective fund to help sponsors different innovative startups or projects that are going on that are tackling plastic waste in different communities and cities all throughout the world. So our role with them is that we've been running their global accelerator program for them. So last year, we ran a program in Silicon Valley, Paris, and Singapore. And those programs went so well that the Alliance decided that they wanted to double down their efforts. And so in 2021, we actually expanded into Shanghai, Sao Paulo, and Johannesburg. So far this year, we've already wrapped up our Silicon Valley, Paris, Shanghai, and Sao Paulo program. And today, we're actually wrapping up our Singapore program, as the startups that have come through our accelerator program are actually now graduating from this 3-month incubation. So a little bit about how the program works is Plug and Play has been doing a call for applications for startups all around the world and all across the plastics value chain. We've also done our own sourcing. Plug and Play has an army of ventures associates and analysts that are actively sourcing and scouting startups from all around the world and bringing them into our ecosystem. Today, Plug and Play has about 60,000 startups in our ecosystem and growing. But for this program, we've reviewed a few thousand startups from all around the world and from these different particular parts of the plastics value chain. So whether they fall into waste collection, waste sorting, processing, end use markets of that plastic waste material, which kind of falls into mechanical, chemical, advanced, and biological recycling, financial incentives for bringing plastic waste back, design of plastic to make it easier to recycle, river pollution prevention, and lastly, waste material exchange, which connects waste collectors with the people who want to purchase and upcycle that waste material. So we passed along an elite list of top 50 companies to our distinguished panel members for this hub, and they down selected it to a top 20 and then ultimately to a top 12. And those are the 12 startups that are currently going through our program and are graduating today. And before we keep going, I just want to give a big thank you not only to the amazing startups that have been going through this program, but also to our panel members that without them, this program would not have been possible. So to the Alliance representative that we've been working with, SCG, ExxonMobil, Suez, Covestro, Total Energies, and SABIC. We thank you all so much for our participation. In the 6 months we've actually been working with you and for all the great work that you've been doing with those startups. And you're actually going to be hearing from a few of the panel members a little bit later in today's expo. So what we talked about, some of the initial early results, this is what we meet. So far in our partnership with the Alliance to End Plastic Waste, Plug and Play has accelerated 80 startups, and we have 23 currently being accelerated. That number is actually going to drop as the 12 for today are now graduating. And this has led to at least 120 commercial pilots with more to come and at least $65 million of capital being deployed into these startups. Big congratulations to those startups for raising all that capital, and it's really going to good use in funding growth of these different startups, new innovation of their products or business ideas, and helping them grow and expand all around the world so that their innovative solutions and business models can have a real lasting impact in our environment and help us reach that end goal of ending plastic waste all around the world. And these are just a handful of the public case studies that have been formed as a result of this program, where we've led global cleanup efforts with Literati in the Alliance. There's been mechanical recycling efforts with Dow and continuous materials, Empower, Biofusion, Recyclite, and ArcLight. There's been plastic waste traceability with Circular, Total, Recycle Technologies, and Innovate UK. And one of the more recent ones has been with Greenback, Envol, and Nestle, where they're doing plastic waste traceability to chemical recycling. But also Greenback has actually also entered in a partnership with one of our batch one from the Singapore hub, Polycycle. And you're actually going to hear a few more announcements a little later today. And so, we're not actually slowing down with the End Plastic Waste program, but we're really ramping up our activities. So in 2021, we also launched programs in carbon neutrality and sustainable fashion and welcomed a few new partners to the Plug and Play ecosystem, where we're helping them with their sustainability goals, whether it be going further into carbon neutrality or making the fashion industry more sustainable. And if you're interested in getting involved in any one of these programs in Plug and Play sustainability, please feel free to reach out to myself or a member of our team, and we're more than happy to have a conversation with you to see how can we help you with your sustainability journey and ultimately help you make an impact into the world. Because ultimately, if we want to really reach our end goals and become more sustainable as a society, it's going to take us all together, coming together to the table and really working on solutions in a very meaningful and impactful way. And I think that's really what the Alliance has shown us, is when people come together around one common mission, it's amazing that the results that can be accomplished with that clear focus and drive towards making that long-lasting impact. So again, if you have any questions about how to get involved, please feel free to reach out to myself or a member of our team, and we're more than happy to have a conversation with you. And for that, I'll leave you and enjoy the rest of our expo. Take care, everyone.
Thank you, Matthew. Next up, we will have our keynote segment, by Nicholas Kolesh, Vice President of Projects from the Alliance to End Plastic Waste. Please help us welcome Nicholas.
Good morning. My name is Nicholas Kolesh, and I'm Vice President of Projects at the Alliance to End Plastic Waste. We are the global partner to the Plug and Play End Plastic Waste Innovation Platform, and I'm delighted to provide some remarks at the start of Day 3 of the biannual Plug and Play APAC Summit. This global program spanning 5 continents has been a great success, enabling the Alliance to identify and connect with a huge group of innovators, offering a multitude of solutions to address the issue of plastic waste entering the environment. Since the launch of the platform in 2019, we've assessed more than 3,000 startups, with more than 68 having graduated from the Plug and Play accelerator. Another 35 ventures are currently in the program, refining their business plans and building their networks. More than $50 million in capital have been invested and deployed into the startups thus far, and over 100 commercial pilots have been started with Alliance member companies. Our partnership with Plug and Play demonstrates the value of collaboration, connecting the Alliance to startup communities around the world. Collaboration is the key enabler for the important work that we do, as the plastic waste challenge is far too complex to tackle on our own. The partnership we have with Plug and Play is emblematic of what we are striving for in the Alliance, bringing together key players who have a shared ambition and mission. We're committed to address the plastic waste challenge through action on the ground. With a network of 66 member companies and 36 project partners and many other stakeholders, we're a leading community founded on commonality of purpose. With such a broad ecosystem of members and partners, it's also important to recognize that companies are at different points on the sustainability journey. The Alliance presents an opportunity to share learnings and provide guidance, and in doing so, we foster a learning environment for our community. We can leverage the technical and commercial expertise of our members to ensure robust projects are developed and delivered. This approach applies equally to the engagement with startups emerging from the Plug and Play platform. We see increasing convergence between what is good for business and what is sustainable for our environment. Innovation is a competitive differentiator in this space, as those innovators that deliver sustainable solutions will be the ones that drive improved competitive positioning and market share gain for their businesses. Considering people, planet, and profit equally makes business sense. Member companies of the Alliance recognize this and are looking to support and fund solutions to the waste management challenge that will enable their businesses and our industry to thrive. While our focus is and remains on ending plastic waste in the environment, we've recognized the importance of establishing a plastic circular economy to achieve our mission. The circular economy is a powerful guiding vision, striving to keep materials in use until they are fully exhausted. Turning this into a reality, however, requires action throughout the life cycle of a material. The Alliance has identified 6 gaps within the circular economy that must be addressed. Today, we will see many startups that have important solutions that can help in closing these gaps. So, what are the gaps to be closed in a plastic circular economy? We can start with the quantity gap, ensuring basic collection and processing systems are in place. Successful efforts must start by increasing the amount of waste plastic purposefully collected for recycling, diverting it from landfills, open burning, burying, or indiscriminate litter. To make this happen, expanded collection capabilities are needed for all plastic items, and investments must be made in the systems and infrastructure required to sort and recycle used plastics, utilizing different solutions to recycle and offset the need for virgin plastic. Next, we consider the quality gap. Closing this gap includes implementing more technical solutions at scale to achieve quality, recycled materials. In a successful circular economy, used plastic can be reused or recycled in a closed loop, where plastic is returned to the original application, or at least returned to the same quality as its original. It is about enabling recycled materials to meet the requirements of the intended use. When this occurs, there is no quality gap. Equally important, we need to invest in improving and simplifying plastic products, packaging in particular, including monomaterial or compatible material solutions where possible. Closing the design gap includes reducing and optimizing material usage and utilizing the best material with the least environmental impact for the job to be done. This should include alternatives and substitution, prioritizing the use of post-consumer recycling, as well as designing for reuse, refill, and recycling. Understanding the full life cycle and social impact of all design options is critical in the material selection process and should guide choices as we strive towards a circular economy. Recycling solutions need to be made economically viable. In many cases, the initial costs to deliver recycled material at the quality and quantity desired may exceed the value derived, or costs may exceed that of fossil-derived plastics. Closing the affordability gap includes capturing the maximum value from used plastic. Economic value is derived not only from the revenue of recycled sold, but the avoided cost of disposal and environmental impact. The affordability challenge represents perhaps the most important gap to be closed. 25% of the world's population, 2 billion people, do not have access to adequately managed waste collection due to the prohibitive cost of household collection as a service. Plastic waste is not the cause, but a symptom of the lack of affordability. We also need to improve quality and access to data at all points in the global plastics value chain. Closing the data gap improves understanding of the cause and effect of plastic waste in different geographies, but also uncovers investable opportunities and best practices. We need to convene organizations that collect and create data sets, bringing their information together so that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. By collating data from definitive sources, commissioning data sets, or modeling based on archetypes, we will have the needed information to undertake multidimensional analysis. Lastly, we need to overcome the alignment gap. There are multiple and differing viewpoints on solutions to end plastic waste. Perspectives differ depending on location, socioeconomic basis, political will of governments, environmental views, cultural norms, profit motives, and more. In many cases, there is duplication of effort from many players active in the plastic waste ecosystem. There are also missed opportunities for collaboration and suboptimal use of resources. We need to align efforts of different participants and drive economies of scale in our collective efforts. Ultimately, we're striving to keep plastic materials and products in use until they are fully exhausted, realizing that this requires action throughout the life cycle of a material. So we're pleased to share with you today ventures that have come through the End Plastic Waste Innovation Platform in the Asia-Pacific region. These companies have defined solutions to address one or more of the circularity gaps I've shared today, and represent an important part of the solution to end plastic waste in the environment. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicholas. Up next, we'll be having a corporate panel with a few of our Alliance panel members discussing the trends of corporate innovation in the Southeast Asia region on plastic waste in general. Moderating this panel, we have Matthew Claxton. Over to you, Matthew.
Thanks, Karina. Welcome, everyone. We have a really exciting panel with 4 Alliance members that have been working with us in one way or another through the Alliance to End Plastic Waste program. Today, we just want to, introduce you to these wonderful people that have been, working in ending plastic waste around the world in their respective companies, and to hear a little bit of insights that they have when it comes to tackling the plastic waste problem, not only globally, but more specifically in Southeast Asia. So first off, I'd like everyone to kind of introduce themselves, their role in their organization, and we'll kind of just take it from there. So Vasman, if we can pass it to you, if you'd like to introduce yourself and your role in your company.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Vasimon Renglek. I'm actually working as an Innovative Alliance Manager, which basically on the innovation and the partnership integration. So my company is SCG. It's from Siam Cement Group, which we have a different kind of business unit like cement, petrochemical, and packaging in the same company. And our goal as of our company is we want to be a part of a solution. So it's mean like to end plastic waste, we really need to work together and try to divert all the plastic out with many solutions. So we working the role of me and also my colleague working in this program is also to support on the building the solution through some of the startup programs, and of course to help on screening some of the right project and the good project in order to implement to help on the kind of preventing and diverting all the leakage. And we can pilot out some of the solution from from your startup, you guys, into this facility later. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to pass it off to Ashok from SABIC.
Hey, thanks a lot. It's a pleasure to be a part of this panel and addressing this august audience. I'm from SABIC. SABIC is one of the largest diversified global petrochemical company headquartered in Saudi Arabia, but it has its footprints across the globe. I lead the sustainability strategy for Asia Pacific region. And since our company does make a whole lot of polymers, our primary goal, other than becoming a leading chemical company as our vision, we would also like to ensure that all the plastics that are getting prepared or synthesized doesn't end up in the environment. We would like to have them converted into useful products and getting them back into the loop. And that's our main goal. And again, that's the reason why we are here with Alliance and Plug and Play, because we do see some excellent opportunities for us to partner with stakeholders to realize our vision. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'd like to pass it over to Jerome.
Hey, hi, everyone. I'm Jerome. I'm from Suez. Suez is the second largest environmental service company in the world, with business centered around water and air waste. I'm heading the development of the recycling and recovery arm of the company in Southeast Asia. And I've been part of the Alliance to End Plastic Waste since the early beginnings, as Suez was the founding members, and we helped shape up what has become a very prominent and impactful organization fighting the plastic crisis. For us, this plug and play program was very, very interesting. I mean, we've been at the forefront of plastic recycling for many years. Today we recycle about 400,000 tons of plastic a year. But as any company, being able to work with startup, it's most than anything, being able to work with fresh mind, with fresh view on the plastic issue, and find and discover innovative solutions that we can implement within our process and in partnership.
Thank you for that. And next, Michael from Covestro.
So hello to everyone. My name is Michael. I'm in charge for innovation management in Covestro. Covestro is one of the leading industry players in the chemical space when it comes to high performance materials. So this is especially the case when we talk about polyurethanes, coating adhesives, specialties, but also in the area of polycarbonate materials. Innovation management, what does that stand for? So basically we're doing end-to-end innovation. So it starts on the fundamental R&D side, where we're doing material developments for sustainable materials and recycling technologies. But then since we're saying innovation is more than R&D, we are also supporting on the business model side, so supporting the commercial scale-up of our recycling activities. And then it translates to the third pillar of our activities, where we're saying innovation is everyone and everywhere. And that translates then to our open innovation activities. And there specifically, we are reaching out to the ecosystem to accelerate our innovation agenda with partners. And there, of course, we have a very strong connection to the startups and to Plug and Play. And of course, also, since we have embarked on our company strategy to become fully circular, of course, lots of activities that we have strong interaction with the Alliance to End Plastic Waste. Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, it's great to hear, some of the goals that your company or things that your companies are working on. And it's a really interesting blend that you're all here together because you represent different parts of the plastics value chain. In order for really all of us to be able to tackle such a complex issue of ending plastic waste, not only in specific regions, but really globally, it takes all different parts of the value chain really working together and collaborating. So it's been really special to see this type of organization, referring to the Alliance, come together on such an ambitious mission. And so with that, I'd like to, kind of zero in a little bit as it pertains to, you all work in innovation. What are some of the exciting trends or startups or innovative ideas that you've been seeing when it comes to tackling plastic waste in the Southeast region? And, kind of a second part to that, how has the experience been for you evaluating these different startups and working with them, and overall the experience of going through the process of kind of weeding through all these different, potential exciting solutions to find the special ones that could really make a difference and an impact in the world. So maybe Jerome, love to pass it back to you since you touched a little bit about your experience on the panel. Maybe some of the interesting ideas you've been seeing.
Yeah, I think it was very interesting. I talk about fresh mind, fresh solution. I think we're discovering through those exercises, in fact, treatment solution that we had maybe not think about, or a way to tackle the e-commerce solution. I mean, there's definitely a few solutions I would like to highlight that I found very interesting. I think my number one was to use the organic waste to produce packaging. And I loved it because it helps on two fronts at the same time: carbon reduction, and plastic waste management by avoiding plastic in the environment. And there was one startup, APAC, in the program, was quite very interesting in the way they use a fibrous organic material from brewery to produce packaging. I have seen also solutions centered around artificial intelligence for collection route, for example, which are definitely things that are extremely valuable for collection companies. Another thing, I must say that one of the outcome of this panel is that we have signed a MOU with one of the panelists, which is the Plastic Cycle for the application Plastic X, which is basically pragmatic collection with traceability and compliance collection system in informal environment, which in the case of Thailand is definitely an important thing for us, as you know, we have plastic recycling capabilities in the country. And this was very interesting to see and discover during the exercise that we had during these 3 months working all together on looking at the startups.
Oh, that's fantastic to hear. And I saw a few of you kind of nodding your heads as he listed some of the interesting ideas. So Vashmon, maybe I can pass it back to you. Some of the exciting ones that you've been seeing.
Okay, so I think I've seen many new bright ideas and a lot of innovative solution with a lot of great intention, of course, here. And I can see that some of like what Jerome said, because in Thailand we need some solution, like because we also include a lot of informal sector that will be part of the infrastructure. So the collecting back in the city with some of these solution that Jerome mentioned, I think is very important, because besides of making it a circular or bringing the material back is also important, and also some of the digital that can also help to create some awareness, and of course for people to really learn about how you can be a part of solution. Like if this of awareness building can be integrate into this, like some of even the collection, you're not just collecting things, but when you interact with those, so it means you learn, and then some of these can be a very important part. And of course the very other important thing is the business model around it. So some of this business model that will link to this innovation, like what actually Jerome has pointed out, many good linkage of the solution, which is part of it, part of this. Yeah.
Fantastic. Maybe Michael, love to turn to you next. And one thing that's kind of interesting, you guys mentioned specific parts of Southeast Asia. I mean, it's important to say, like, every region around the world is different, and then when you go into that region, it's very different part by part by part. So Michael, I mean, a lot your Covestro works on specialty chemicals. Would love to hear, how are some of these innovative ideas exciting for you or for Covestro, the things that you work on?
Yeah, I mean, when we talk about Covestro, so first of all, I said in the introduction that our new strategy is to become fully circular. And that means that in order to achieve this target, first of all, we know we cannot do that alone. So that's the reason why we have to accelerate innovation by working with others. And what are really the interesting things that we see on our end? The ultimate goal for us is, of course, to avoid that we have plastic waste ending up in the environment. But the ultimate goal needs to really to improving the so-called carbon footprint. And that means that from our side, we are working together with partners, for example, in the area of developing new, more sustainable raw materials. That means either in the area of bio-based, waste-based, or even carbon dioxide-based. So taking the exhaust gas carbon dioxide and use it as a building block for our products that we sell into the market. So for example, polyurethanes, here applications, sports flooring, automotive, even textiles, mattresses containing carbon dioxide as a raw material. We work a lot with partners along the value chain to get what we call so-called drop-in solution, bio-based drop-in solutions, which is a raw material that we then mix together still with fossil fuels in our existing assets, but having done the same product performance in the respective applications that we are currently serving. So this is what is called a mass balance approach. And this mass balance approach has the result that the carbon footprint for the customer can substantially be reduced. And then something that is really super exciting is new ways of recycling. And here I'm specifically referring to chemical recycling, which is fundamentally different compared to mechanical recycling, because there you can bring the original components of the materials back to its origin, so to say, to the original components. So the building blocks, as we say in chemistry. And we have just launched a new chemical recycling process for soft foam mattresses, so polyurethane soft foam mattresses, that to my knowledge is the only technology worldwide that can bring back the two components. And coming now back how we collaborate with others, we are setting up lots of industry consortia. We have just announced an industry consortium which is called Circular Foam, which has the target to create a circular economy environment with the goal to bring back rigid foam materials, polyurethane rigid foams that is being used in appliance applications. So for example, in the area of fridges and housings. So these are really the exciting things that we're seeing in parallel to, of course, develop solutions to really have new business model concepts, which have the ultimate goal to have a return of the product at the end of the life cycle. In parallel, also to do lots of things where we are together with our customers, also in the region, designing their products from the very first moment. So at the end of the life cycle, they can be recycled in a better way. So we call that eco-design. So these are the kind of trends and activities that we are seeing.
Oh, very cool initiatives. And I actually really like how you also bring in carbon neutrality into this, because you know, I think all of your organizations have a carbon neutrality goal, you know, in different years. And plastics and kind of the work that you're doing here does tie in pretty nicely with that. So Ashok, I have a little bit of a slightly altered question for you. You know, yes, what are some of the new exciting trends that you're seeing in when it comes to startups or innovation in Southeast Asia to help tackle plastic waste, but also how can that help with going carbon neutral? Michael touched on a little bit of it. Actually, all of you touched on a little bit, but you know, I'd love to turn it over to you for your opinion.
Sure, definitely. So, as a matter of fact, we're excited to see that SABIC announced its carbon neutrality program just this last Saturday. As a matter of fact, as I said, we are based out of the Kingdom, Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia announced its carbon neutrality, Aramco announced it, and SABIC announced its carbon neutrality. All the three during this Saudi Green Deal Green Initiative, I would say. And what we see is that these processes are going to play a critical role from the climate perspective when it comes to carbon neutrality. Just give a little perspective what SABIC is doing with respect to the entire plastic recycling, which I said is our vision to kind of ensure that plastic doesn't leak into the ocean. And just like Michael mentioned, right, we also value our downstream and upstream partners as critical collaborators for us to really help us envision our goals. And for this, we need to revisit our entire value chain, and we need to transform the way we are kind of functioning in order to achieve these goals as such. And for this, we have come out with a program, what we call as a two-circle program, Now, this True Circle program actually has 5 pillars associated with it: design for recyclability, mechanical recycling, advanced chemical recycling, which we call certified circular products. We also have something called certified renewable products, wherein we are kind of collecting raw materials from bio-based feedstock, which is not competing with the human food chain. It's like paper waste from the paper and pulp industry, and also closely as such. Now, for these pillars to kind of be successful, and especially when it comes to chemical recycling and mechanical recycling, we need to ensure that we are kind of having these waste from the feedstock. Now, one of the things that we are focusing from the innovation point of view is how do you convert ocean and ocean-bound plastics? Actually, that's something which is critical. As a matter of fact, we have we see Southeast Asia as a region where we have a lot of potential in doing so, and I think Plug and Play and Alliance has played a very important role for us to help us identify partners whom we can collaborate with in this region. As a matter of fact, if you Google, you will find that one of the first ocean plastic-based mouse, which has been made by Microsoft, has been launched recently using SABIC material assets. So that's a big thing where we have been able to transform, collecting this waste, converting them into renewable recycled materials, and bringing them back into the value chain, partnering with brands like Microsoft to bring this aspect into the for people to use on a day-to-day basis. And one of the integral part when we decide on our program, we have a very strong life cycle assessment program in place, which decides as to what kind of carbon emission avoidance are we able to bring about by doing these processes. And these are also critically reviewed by the third party as such. So from these analysis, we clearly see that these, not just we are able to add value to the society by cleaning up the waste from not just the land, but also the ocean, but able to do the life cycle assessment calculation to showcase that these are making a difference to the climate. They are able to kind of bring out reduction in carbon dioxide, and which has been kind of a proven fact over and above the certified process that we use to ensure that the value chain traceability exists when we are collaborating with brands like Microsoft, and for that matter, for everyone, actually.
Oh, very, very cool. I actually wasn't aware of the Microsoft partnership, but I mean, that's incredibly great to hear. I mean, more and more of those partnerships definitely need to be formed in order for all of us to really progress towards ending plastic waste and carbon neutrality as well, and doing it in a very environmentally sustainable way. So in our last kind of 2 minutes here, I hate to let you all go, but I'd love for you to give kind of a key takeaway message for the audience today on maybe what it's been like to work with the startups, or maybe your goals for 2022, or things you'd like to see in 2022 when it comes to ending plastic waste. So Jerome, you have a big smile on your face, so I'm going to turn it over to you. You shouldn't smile on these panels. You might get called.
It's a call to talk. No problem on that.
Yeah.
No, I think key message, and maybe I'm going to be a little bit hard. I think my key message is basically the plastic waste crisis has not started yet. And the reality is that, a little bit like for climate change, if nothing is done, in 2030, 2040, we are going to triple the amount of plastic that you will find in the oceans and in the environment. So that being said, I am not pessimistic. It's just pointing the fact that there is a call for action. And I think these programs is an answer to this call of action, because both corporation, like my colleagues on the panels on the chemical side, corporation like Suez or other waste management company, we can bring scale, industrialization, impact. But a lot of the innovation that are going to be implemented in the future will come from these programs. And I think for me, that's one of my key messages. The second message, and I have a second one for it's not for 2022, I think it's for the next few years, is all the best innovation in the world in that particular field, and I speak about experience as Suez and waste management in general, can't really scale up without a regulatory push, meaning that we need Southeast Asian government to step up in their implementation, definition and implementation, and enforcement of regulation on the waste management side. So I see a lot of good things. I see Vietnam talking about EPR. I see Thailand talking about EPR. I see Indonesia talking about also their policy. Things are coming, but they need to accelerate, because once we have the regulation in place, with everything I've been able to see in that program, I know that the innovation is coming. You have prominent members of the industries, like you have around the table, willing to make the investment and to build the capacities to recycle plastic. And I think this is how we're going to avoid the plastic waste crisis to really happen.
Oh, great to hear. And yeah, I love the call for action. I think there needs to be far more call for actions and for more and more people to get engaged. Vesemon, I saw you kind of nod your head. Just quick 20 seconds, key takeaway message for the audience today.
Yes. I think for us that a lot more that from the bright idea that the new people that will generate this new idea. But anyway, so we all have to make a kind of combined effort in order to link this kind of integrative solution, just like Jerome said. So some of the policy also important, but then for us it's a collaboration and a good business model. I think is very, very important, because like for our company, like private sector, like SCG, we do have the green polymer. The company try to do on their sides, but then for the society to integrate this kind of solution and the new startup. So we'll help to bring this value chain together. Without the new solution like a collect bag or some of the collaboration like the circular and the creative, a new green polymer like to reduce the CO2 emission is also the key for everyone now, because for us working with Alliance and working with Plug and Play is a very important impactful program that we see that the solution can be brought, why we can join hand with you guys in order to make this thing happen. And we hope to have a better, a longer than 2022, better future for everyone with a new solution that we all creating together. Yeah.
Fantastic. And so, Michael, really quick, just key takeaway message, and then Ashok, I'm going to go to you for the last word on this.
Yeah, I think the key message that becomes obvious again, that if we really want to become fully circular as a society, we only can do that together. And we have to combine the different competencies that we have everywhere so that we can really tackle that truly global challenge that we're seeing. And so from our side, from Covestro point of view, we are absolutely committed to do that, to contribute with our share, to be a reliable partner, and especially the interaction and the collaboration with startups as a new source of innovation is definitely of very, very high interest to us in all different kind of areas. So on the raw material side, recycling side, business model side, and all the other topics that also the colleagues already mentioned. From a Southeast Asia point of view, I think this is a region with a very high plastic pollution. And I would just make the statement, the sooner we can tackle the problem together, the better it is for all of us.
Oh, fantastic. Ashok, last 20 seconds, final word.
Well, to get to a circular global society, one needs to close the loop. And I echo what the other speakers have said right now. For circular process to work, consumers, retailers, recyclers, manufacturers all need to come together to enable a solution. So the key word out here for me is collaboration, and trying to relook at your business models to enable it, do things differently, to enable this circularity to get a true global circular society.
I couldn't agree with you more. Yes, more collaboration. So for all of you sitting at home or in your office, wherever you are around the world, if you'd like to get involved, please reach out. We'd love to collaborate with you, work with you. And again, thank you so much to our panel, Vesemon, Ashok, Jerome, Michael. Thank you again so much. And thank you again for being on the panel. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Matthew, and our panel speakers. We hope you enjoyed the panel session as much as I did. I'll now like to pass over the time to my colleagues, Channi and Jermaine, to take us through the rest of the program.
Thank you, Karuna. Hi everyone, my name is Chandni and I'm the Ventures Associate for Plug and Play here in Asia Pacific. I look after our sustainability portfolio here in the region. That includes the Singapore Hub for the End Plastic Waste program. I hope you've enjoyed the panel session earlier with our corporate partners from Alliance to End Plastic Waste. Ideas come from anywhere in the world. The goal of our End Plastic Waste program is to foster startups from across the value chain and help them transform plastic waste management around the world. Let me take you to the first stages of the plastic waste life cycle: bioalternatives, collecting, and sorting. Our first startup, AlterPax, uses food waste to create a new bioplastic material that replaces plastic packaging. Let's welcome AlterPax.
Hi, I'm Karen, the founder and CEO of AlterPax. We're replacing plastic packaging by using food waste. We know plastics are a problem, but eco-alternatives have not been able to scale and provide sufficient impact to replace plastics. What sets AlterPax apart is the scalability and immediacy of our solution using food waste to replace plastic packaging. 5 countries are home to a thriving beer brewing business. Together, they produce 1/4 of the world's brewers' spent grains, BSG, a byproduct of beer brewing that is made up of molten grains and fed to animals, turned into fertilizer, or disposed in landfills. We can take all of this BSG and upcycle to supply 1/3 of the household plastic packaging needs in these same countries. Raw BSG is moist and spoils easily. Our proprietary process allows us to stabilize the BSG and get it ready for conversion into bioresins and pulp sheets. The BSG bioresins can be used in standard manufacturing machines to form products depending on the mold. The aim would be to produce food takeaway boxes with the pallets. Here's our pallet production process. The AlterPax material will have the functionalities of plastic packaging without the negative environmental impact. The material will be biodegradable, home compostable, and allow for surface printing. Global production of the bioresins is less than 1% of petroleum resins. There is tremendous opportunity for growth with Asia driving this demand, spurred by government legislation against single-use plastics and increasing consumer awareness. COVID-19 has ironically helped with the growth of this market, with increasing demand for single-use food containers because of hygiene and safety. The competitive landscape is fragmented. AlterPax provides a solution at scale now. Waste is sourced locally with a production process that uses existing manufacturing machines to produce the high volumes required. AlterPax will create and supply the bioresins and pulp sheets with contract manufacturers for food packaging products and license our technology to partners who want to create their own BSG-based pulp or bioresins. We begin in Singapore with orders from the plastic manufacturers and food disposable suppliers who are looking for eco-friendly alternatives that can be produced at scale. These manufacturers come with the advantage of having an existing commercial client base across APAC. Our total addressable market is estimated at 180 million in our key 7 markets. We project to be able to break even by the end of year 2 and profitable by year 3. Since starting AlterPax, we've bootstrapped the business and received the support of Temasek Foundation and our alma mater, Singapore Management University's Institute of Innovation and Entrepreneurship. We are seeking $600,000 to fund our commercial production and acquire exclusive rights to the tech that we're co-developing with Nanyang Technological University. We have 2 pilot clients with a minimum order of over 1 million units of food packaging boxes in year 1. Our team has complementary skill sets in marketing, finance, and engineering spanning over 20 years. Professor William Chen from NTU's Food Science and Technology is our principal investigator and technology consultant for this project. Your consideration of AlterPax will help us scale our solution to end plastic pollution. And this is just the beginning. Thank you.
We are now moving from bioplastic alternatives to recyclable packaging. Our next startup is Aegis Packaging. Aegis Packaging has created a high barrier coating that protects food from the elements, increasing its shelf life and reducing food wastage. Let's hear it for Aegis Packaging.
Hi, my name is Kailang from Aegis Packaging, and we're here to make sustainable packaging viable. Do you know that plastic packaging contributes to 50% of all plastic waste? And 1/3 is linked to our environment, polluting our oceans, just like the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. And it's not just about waste pollution. We also produce 700 million tons of carbon emission annually from this packaging production. And we consume 5 grams of microplastics weekly. The problem is only growing. Unfortunately, many existing plastic packaging today, like multi-material packaging, are not even recyclable. On the other hand, sustainable alternative lacks the barrier performance required to replace multi-material packaging. Introducing O2X, our innovative patented high barrier coating solution. We can coat on PE and PP films to produce mono-material packaging to replace existing multi-material packaging consisting of materials like aluminum foil, PET or nylon, and kickstart our circular economy journey. We have superior oxygen barrier performance, improving shelf life. We're also compatible to a wide range of existing products and application. And lastly, our cost is low, so switching to our solution enables businesses to comply better with the environment while maintaining profitability. We already completed our first phase with our high oxygen barrier coating O2X that is commercially ready. This can help with the recycling economy, as recycled plastic can save up to 30% of plastic packaging carbon emission. We are already in the midpoint of the second phase, where we want to improve our water vapor barrier, as also one of customers' key consideration. And by the third phase, we want to move towards 100% compostable packaging. That means even if the packaging is contaminated, it still can be fully composted. Over the next 10 years, we expect to reduce plastic waste by 18 million tons. That's 60% of entire ASEAN's annual plastic waste. Reduce 90 million tons of carbon emission, which is 2 times of Singapore annual carbon emission, and ultimately help us reach the following goals ranging from climate action to zero hunger. We have a total addressable market of $160 billion. We are targeting the $11 billion high barrier market with phase 1 and 2 products, and eventually in 10 years to achieve 5% of total market share with all 3 phases. Since our inception in 2018, we have collaborated with global resin supplier to co-market a high barrier PE film packaging and partner with A-Star for R&D. Presently, we're in paid pilot trials with over 40 plus large brand owners and converters. Our manufacturing line can produce 250 tons of O2X per month. And this year, we're filing 2 new IPs to further deepen our coating technology. We have also started our first commercial sales this year and engaged with 4 distributors globally. Since we are selling our coatings, we are very versatile. We can work with the entire value chain from resin producers like Dow, ExxonMobil, all the way to potential end brand owners like Nestle and PepsiCo. We can sell a pre-existing coating or work closely with them to customize a tailored solution. Our business is helmed by Mr. Ong, a serial entrepreneur with 30 years of business experience. I was previously from Avian and Clarion, the global leaders for specialized polymer materials. Dr. Lee and Dr. Lui both have deep technical knowledge in their respective fields of food science and polymer composites. We're looking for a strategic partner to collaborate with us to develop new packaging solutions with O2X, to expand the market quickly and capture market globally, and to guide us to become a global organization and to start our fundraising activities in early 2022. In 10 years' time, instead of the garbage patch, these are the clear waters we can return to. We know that packaging is here to stay, but we know that sustainable packaging can be viable too. Partner with Aegis and let's progress commercially and sustainably by doing good and doing well. Thank you very much.
Now that we're on the topic of recycling, let me introduce you to our next startup, Recycle Smart. Recycle Smart has reinvented recycling to be easier and hassle-free. It's as easy as ordering an Uber. Let's see how they do it.
Hello everyone, I'm George from Recycle Smart, the Uber for waste. And today I want to talk to you about waste and our recycling habits. As you know, there's a massive problems. Everything we have at home that doesn't fit in a bin, it's really hard to know where to dispose it. It's inconvenient, it's hard to find information about it, and it's time consuming. So even if you have this goodwill of like doing the right thing with your soft plastics, your e-waste, your batteries, your mobile phone, actually you get distracted by all this lack of customer centricity and information around that. In Australia, there's a great opportunity. There's lots of warehouses, like usually one for each council, each local government area, where people can go and drop off all these different items. 30% of your daily waste production, they should never go in a bin. They're usually far from your own home. They're in some sort of industrial area of town, and they are as well, not everybody's aware of it. Our solution actually tackles these 20 to 30% of your daily waste production that should never go in a bin. And just to give you an idea, 100% of the general waste goes to landfill, but 75% of the yellow bin, the recycling bin, goes to landfill as well. Reason is, it's full of these no-bin items. They should never end up in a bin. That's exactly what we recover. Our product saves 10 times councils the money we charge them for. How does it work? You put everything together in a single bag, the one I have up here, you can see in the slide as well, the pink one, or any bag you have at home. You just chuck everything inside together, put it in front of your unit door, and the very next day, go online, 2 clicks away, you book a pickup from the next day onwards for whatever fits you better. Our driver will come by, collect the bag, empty in the trunk of your car, divide all the items, and return the bag in front of your door and go to one of these warehouses where you can divide all these different items in different bins. Let's talk about traction. To date, we collected 80 tons of waste, roughly now 10 tons a month, and we're working now with 10 Australian councils. That means around 700-800 bags per day these days. So it's really going. We're growing 30% a month. How do we make money? Free for users. We charge the government, the councils. It's an additional service to your waste service that you have, your bin service. $5,000 a month minimum fee for up to 1,000 bags. And then it goes up $5,000 each time. So each tier is $5,000. 1,000 bags, 2,000 bags, and so on. We are currently actually invoicing councils on an annual recurring revenue of $700,000 a year in terms of revenue that we're making now. So we're definitely post-revenue. We measure everything we collect, we know the weight, and we know the type of waste that's inside each bag. We record all of this data to our independent drivers that we hire in the community. And we have 2 reports that will go, one to the council, our client, so they know exactly what's going on in terms of waste attitudes, and one to our users, to let them know the kind of impact they had on the environment. Our business model has a big moat around the fact of working with the government and making sure that we are the only provider for each local government area or council we work with. In terms of experience, I come from a waste management and management consulting background. My business partner has a digital customer centricity type of background. We are now raising our post-seed round at $1 million on a post-seed round at $10 million valuation. We raised today another $1 million on a seed round that we closed in August. We're growing 30% a month, and we're looking for capital to expand and go nationwide in Australia and expanding our product line as well. Talk to us if you're interested about Recycle Smart. There's so much more we would like to tell you. Thank you.
Before we move on, let's take a short break for 3 minutes. Don't go anywhere, take a breather, stretch your legs, and then strap in for another exciting segment of more startup demos. Welcome back! Now, we know the importance of robust waste collection and recycling rate. It would allow for waste plastics to be captured before they begin creating problems in the natural environment. Our next startup, Waste Labs, bridges the supply and the demand for recyclable materials through the power of data and technology. Let's give it up for Waste Labs.
Transitioning to the circular economy and closing the product loop is heavily dependent on the ability to implement robust waste collection. My name is Vladimir. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Waste Labs. And today, I'm going to share with you how data and artificial intelligence can improve waste collection and help manufacturers to produce more goods from recycled materials. Modern economies have developed sophisticated solutions to reuse and recycle materials, produce new products, and efficiently distribute them straight to the consumers. But the rest of the loop, which is collecting the waste, remains old school and underinvested. Waste collection business is very competitive, complex, and capital intensive. However, most of the waste companies are still very manual when it comes to their operational and sales planning. It results in overspending between 10 and 20% on collection costs due to underutilizing collection resources, driving longer routes, and spending more time on servicing the customers than needed. At Waste Labs, we develop an artificial intelligence platform that helps to bridge this gap. We bring together public and private data usable for waste planning, and our optimization engine that we built specifically to optimize waste logistics. The platform allows service providers to digitize, plan, and improve waste collection anywhere in the world. It also helps manufacturers to identify and source supply of recyclable materials. Our platform covers all elements of the collection system, from showing collectors where waste is being generated and how it flows, to helping them how to identify the best location for their material recovery facilities and showing how this location affects the number of required vehicles. It even goes as far as telling them the best service day and time slot to collect waste from a new customer. Built over over 10 years of research and development, our artificial intelligence will bring waste collection planning on par with modern logistics planning, and in the process, reduce collection operating costs by over 10%. We are productizing a software-as-a-service platform for established commercial and industrial waste collectors. We typically go through a proof of concept for a selected collection area. Later, we switch to an annual subscription that is tied to the number of collection routes. Once onboarded, the platform analyzes the current state of the routes and prescribes decision support insights to decrease collection costs and intelligently source new waste producers. We started over 15 months ago in Singapore in the midst of the pandemic. Today, we serve top-tier waste management companies, consumer brands, and sustainable producers in Singapore, Hong Kong, Australia, and the UK. Our project tackled general and recyclable waste, including food, plastic, cardboard, and electronic waste. Our clients won over $250 million of new waste collection business using collection plans designed by Waste Labs. Today, we are a team of 5 working in Singapore, Kazakhstan, and the UK, and we are actively hiring. Most of our team are coming from the waste industry, and we are backed by venture capital firm from the UK and Singapore. We are working hard to grow our product capabilities and build a globally scalable tech platform. Today, we are excited to see a strong need to bridge the supply and demand for recyclable materials and build and operate robust and scalable waste collection systems. Whether you are a consumer brand, a manufacturer, or a professional waste collector, please talk to us. We are here to help you with that. Thank you.
As you can see, AI is a powerful tool to generate and analyze huge archives of data, even in the sustainability and plastic waste management space. Our next startup, Ving Labs, created an automated solution powered by AI and robotics to sort mixed plastic waste into different categories. Let's welcome Ving Labs.
Hi everyone, myself Vikrant, and I'm the co-founder of Ving Labs Technologies. 3.3 million metric tons. That's how much plastic waste India generated in 2019. Out of the total plastic waste recycled, 90% of it was processed and sorted by the informal sector. The rest was processed by the waste management companies, where we have significant mechanization, conveyors, and people are sorting out plastics from the waste stream. A very similar setup can also be observed in recycling, where people are sorting out contaminations and impurities, making sure the final product purity. Now, looking at the industry, we have two different problems. The first one is we do not have enough infrastructure, and the other, whatever infrastructure we have for sorting, it's not just efficient. The cost of sorting is very high, or the cost of ensuring quality in recycling is very high. There is not enough data on what's happening on the ground, and then there is very high volatility because of labor issues. Now, to address all of these problems, Ving Labs started developing solutions in parts. So the first part of the solution is the AI-based waste recognition system. And the system has been trained on more than 1 million images, and it has more than 95% object recognition accuracy. It gives real-time insights about the material movement and can also get information about the brand data and etc. The second part is our WingLabs robotics. The WingLabs plug-and-play robotics is in-house designed and developed, and we have installed one system at a waste management site in Bangalore, and a pilot where we are conducting mixed plastic waste sorting into different categories. And the last part of the solution is a high-speed, high-throughput air sorter powered by our AI waste recognition engine. In recycling, we have installed our AI-based QA/QC systems in a PET recycling plant. We have enhanced their resolution for contamination detection because of our insights, and also we are giving them insights about food grade versus non-food grade label or the objects by analyzing the remnants, impurities, and other visual properties of the bottles. Now, our business model. We are OEM. We are working with the waste management companies. We are helping them develop their MRFs. We are also working with the MRF owners, aggregators, and recyclers by providing them our waste monitoring systems and also our sorting systems. We charge a capex and then our annual fees for our services and software usage. The total size of the market in which we are operating, it's $12.2 billion globally. Now, traction, we have already installed our first AI-based pilot project, the waste management. Now we already have orders for installing 5 such systems in different cities for the sortings. We have orders for 4 more monitoring systems, and we are planning to launch a QA/QC for a waste to energy plant very soon. In recycling, we are already working on our first AI-based QA/QC for recycling. We have got orders for 6 such units to be deployed across India. And next, we are also shipping out a monitoring system for a recycler in Europe. Now, we are so fortunate to be joined by some of the industry veterans so early on in our journey. And as far as team is concerned, we are a blend of youth and experience with a combined experience of 16 years in computer vision and machine learning. As far as ask, so we are planning to raise 500,000 USD from strategic investors, which will be used in building our team and expanding our R&D, and also realizing a revenue of $500,000 in the next year. Thank you, Plug and Play and Alliance, for giving us this platform. Thank you.
Lastly, in the mechanical recycling space, we have Rebricks Indonesia. Rebricks recycles multi-layered plastic waste into building materials with an innovative, eco-friendly production process. Let's welcome Rebricks.
Hello, I'm Ovi. I'm from Rebricks, an eco-building material company from Indonesia. Today, I will start my presentation by talking about the problem. Right now, our world is facing an overwhelming plastic waste problem, and plastic packaging play a big role in it. But right now, we don't have the technology to recycle this type of plastic, and incinerator is harmful for the environment. As a result, this type of plastic ended up in the landfills, or worse, leaked to our environment and threatening our ocean and marine life. So what shall we do? Rebricks here to offer a solution by turning this type of plastic waste into building materials. By using an eco-friendly method, we don't burn the plastic, we just shred and mix the plastic with other materials, so no toxic fume created. We can mass produce, and all of our products are laboratory tested. We have 2 main products, pavers and hollow blocks. Both contain 20% of waste, have competitive price against conventional product, and is tested to be non-combustible and fit the standardized quality criteria. And then, if we are talking about the market, Indonesia is a developing country. Only 1 out of 5 main islands are well developed, not to mention 1,700 other smaller islands. Our current president focused on building infrastructure, and our new capital city is going to be green and smart city. That's a big market right there. On the number pyramids on the right side of the screen, I would like to focus on the one city, Jakarta. Jakarta planned to build like 100 kilometers of pedestrian. That's only for one city. Can you imagine how much rejected plastic or plastic packaging we can recycle in that project? Rebrick's business model deals with tackling waste problem in the cities and coastal area through B2B, B2Cs, and waste management services. These three things can increase revenue, primarily by increasing sales, collaboration with various parties, including communities, investors, and donors. Next, in this slide, we talked about sales. Our sale grows significantly. In 2021, our sale grew 5 times compared to 2020. These numbers showed that the market responded positively to our product. And then when we talk about milestone and growth, in 2020, we only worked with one landscaper and another company, which is Plastic Bay. But we won an award, a regional award, Circular Innovation Gem. In 2021, we managed to secure more partnership. We worked with 2 other architecture companies and had a project with Alam Sutera, one of the biggest developer in Indonesia. We see this as a big milestone. And then apart from that, we also work with multinational companies such as Astra, Indofood, Chandra Asri Petrochemical. And also, we also partner up with other companies in sustainability field, and we got exposure from national and international medias. We are currently looking for $500,000 for 2 to 3 years Rebrick C program. In this program, we will have a hybrid infrastructure development program where we apply Rebrick's technology and turning the ocean waste into building materials that next will be used to build the community and also the infrastructure in the local coastal area. In this program, we're also going to do the capacity building, mangrove management, and waste management. Therefore, this program will involve multiple stakeholders. We currently have a potential area, Demak. Why Demak? Because several villages in Java North coastal area have sunken, and Demak is prioritized by the government because it's prone to sink in the next few years. If you choose to actively tackling ocean waste problem with us, this is our team. I'm Ovi Sabrina. I come from a family that already ran a concrete factory for almost 30 years now. And this is my co-founder, Tanovita. She is an expert in capacity building. Mr. Ari Sanjaya, our head of R&D. He is a PhD student as well as a lecturer in civil engineering faculty in a university in Jakarta. And Julia, our PR head. She has an extensive experience in PR industry. And apart from my main team, we also have like an expert advisors that help us to grow. So on the last note, let's collaborate to create cleaner oceans and greener cities together, one brick at a time with Rebricks. Thank you very much.
We hope that you're enjoying our summit so far. Now that you have met the first half of our startups combating plastic waste, let us pivot to navigating the social impacts of collecting plastic. When we talk about the social impact of collecting plastic, we're talking about those who collect plastic for a living, waste pickers. As we discuss and work towards plastic neutrality, we need to keep in mind that there are those who depend on plastic waste in order to survive. The Plastic Circle provides businesses with a supply chain software platform for the responsible sourcing of recycled plastic in Asia, providing a stable livelihood for waste pickers in the region. Our next event is a fireside chat with the Plastic Circle, where we will discuss experiences in our End Plastic Waste program, sustainability goals, and plans for tackling plastic waste. Hi everyone, I'm Chandni and I'll be moderating this fireside chat between Plug and Play and the Plastic Circle. We're thrilled for you to hear from them and about the amazing work that they've been doing. I'd like to pass it off to Trish and Murray Hyde to introduce themselves and tell you a little bit more about what they do. Take it away, guys.
Thanks very much. Hi, I'm Trish.
And I'm Murray.
And that's Murray. We are founders of the Plastic Circle. And we work in the space of plastic circular economy. So it's great to be here to be talking about what we do. Would you like me to explain our product?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Yep, great. Okay. So we have built a clean tech platform that is designed for the responsible sourcing of PCR plastic in Asia. It's built for Asia. And essentially what we're doing with it is being able to connect the informal worker to make sure that they get paid well, but also to get the quality PCR that brands need to meet their commitments. You know, we all know that plastic is everywhere. It's just that it's not being recycled, and there is a gap, and we fix that supply chain gap. That we recreate the circular economy.
That's interesting. I also read that your first pilot project was done in Uttar Pradesh in northern India, and over just 28 days, you collected 4 tons of quality recycled PET. How did you accomplish this?
And Murray, you've just had a cameo.
I know. Lachlan, our big Labrador, just wandered through the office, and he's wandered out the door. So I'd like you guys to keep that in.
Thanks, Murray. Murray, over to you.
Yeah, sure. Well, I was, because it's part of the operations of what we do and my role as COO, I ran the program in India. Didn't run it on my own. One of the things we do with Plastex is we employ a local connection, and there's Molly.
Hello.
Both of them have come through now. So we use local people on the ground. So in the case of the India program, we had Solidaridad, who are a well-known human capital organisation, and Green Dream, who are this fantastic organisation based in New Delhi, but are all over India, and they were really super helpful with all of the mechanical aspects of what we do on the ground. For example, we don't speak Hindi or Bangla, and we needed both of those languages. So in our app and in our daily interactions, so they took care of the language thing. They were able to recruit the collectors we needed, and they looked after the payments and all that sort of stuff. We funded the program ourselves in conjunction with Solidaridad, and it was opportunistic. We launched into it because we had the opportunity to do it, and the time was right for us to test it. We had 3 things that we were trying to test. One was that we could get people, informal workers, to use the technology, and so it's a platform, it's a web app, so in being able to get them to use smartphones and get them to use the app on their smartphones was certainly one thing that we wanted to do. And because, lots of informal workers aren't particularly well educated. So we were able to prove that that worked, and that was exciting. We wanted to prove the traceability process of the plastic, because it is a general ledger platform. And so we wanted to be able to go from this end, from collection, all the way through to the processor. And we wanted to cut out as many middlemen as we could. And that's the business model, I guess, of Plastex, is because it cuts out lots of people who get a handling fee on the way through, and we reinvest that handling fee with the pickers, the waste collectors. And they came out of this with just under 50% more per kilo than they were getting before. And that was terrific, because that really empowers them, and we know that they're not on megabucks, but we know that a shift like that, and put it to, think about it within what you earn. If someone came along and gave you 50% more, you wouldn't be there. You'd run around the world and spend your money. But but to these people, 50% more is a huge, huge chunk, and it means that they get a fair shake. So that's really good. Have I forgotten something, Trish? Have I forgotten one of the things we were trying to prove? I think I have.
Well, there is the quality.
Quality, yes, that was it.
So it was the 3 things. the connection with the informal workers, the ability to prove traceability physically and digitally, and then, of course, the ability to collect to specification so that you can get equality, because we're reconnecting a broken economy. So you have to have the needs of the demand met, you have to have that quality PCR, and you've got to help those that are supplying do it in a way that is more economically beneficial. So yeah, we're really fortunate to have such a business model that has a commercial reality but delivers social and environmental benefit. And one of the key aspects that we really love to highlight is that it is a data-rich platform. Because when you start looking at the layers of information, where material is collected, what material, what pricing shifts the market, what engages a person to actually contribute to a recycling system, a voluntary recycling system, they're important data sets that at the moment we don't have, and it will make all of our lives richer to have those kind of insights.
Just to give you a really brief outline of how it works, a brand will come to Plastics and they'll say, we want to collect 10,000 kilos of clear PET, because let's face it, PET is really popular. We want to collect 10,000 kilos of that. They put it on our site. Our registered collectors then see that there's new jobs there. They choose how much they want to collect. They choose when they want to collect it. They also know that there's an end date, so they know how long they've got. If they say we want to collect 20 kilos and they collect their 20 kilos and there's still kilos to collect and time, they can go back and do it again. So there's no limit to that. The really cool thing is that they collect it, they know how much they're going to get paid before they start, and it's a market rate, and we're able to police that. The other thing is there's no underage people are allowed to be part of it. So you have to be 18 minimum, and we have a facial recognition system and all that sort of stuff to ID people when they drop stuff off. So once it's collected, it goes to the hub. From the hub, it goes to the processor. There's quality control in there and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, but 3 simple steps instead of 8 to 12.
Yeah.
I think it's really great how, you guys are using, technology and, apps to really bridge corporates, the waste pickers in Asia, as well as, just targeting ending plastic waste. And, it's really great. Do you have any pilot or a second pilot project in the works anywhere else in Asia?
Thank you for asking that one, because as Murray said, we've bootstrapped our business to date. We've been fortunate to be in an accelerator and to be in a couple of programs. The pilot was essential to prove the concept, and we are going to be doing a second pilot that completes the full test, because we only tested part of it. Now, the second part we need to test is the economics, because we've proven we can collect and we can trace. We now need to prove that we can do it at a volume that gets the PCR at a price point that is market, acceptable. And so that's the economics. And really pleased to be able to say that recently, very, very recently, we have just signed our first customer to do that pilot in Thailand, coming 2022, very, very early.
Very early, January, in fact.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. It's such an important pilot because it will enable us to not just test those aspects for our own business model, but it will give insights. Again, this is where data is so important. It will give insights that will help us really shift the advancement of circular economy that respects informal workers, puts them in the right position and gets the plastic through.
Murray, what about you? What are you excited about with your Thailand pilot?
Wow. Well, I'm excited about a number of things, not the least
Don't
of
say
which...
char kway teow.
Yes, char kway teow, pad thai, tiger beer. No, elephant beer, isn't it, in Bangkok? But I'm excited by all those things. But in terms of the program itself, this will be a significant step up where, we collected very quickly, 4 tonnes, just under 4 tonnes, using 10 collectors in India. In Thailand, we're aiming for 100 tonnes a month. So that's a significant step up. There will be lots more collectors. There'll be a lot more infrastructure required for us to set up, like hubs. We set up hubs and we have to test how many hubs we need. That's one of the key things to come out of that next pilot. So all of the operational things are the things that get my juices flowing. So it's about numbers of people, numbers of hubs, how we can deal with the logistics in a city where logistics are a horrible nightmare. So
I think the word's difficult.
Yeah, true. Just say business-like, darling. It's wonderful. So it is that there are challenges, and I love overcoming those challenges. So that's really what's exciting me. And to be rid of the shackles of COVID and all that sort of stuff, or at least have them minimised and get on with it. One of the things in the last 12 to 18 months for us, and even though we have done a pilot in the last 12 to 18 months, and it was at the height of COVID in India, which was just horrible. In fact, a couple of our, not our collectors, but a couple of the people from our teams over there were having all sorts of issues with COVID, being unwell. So being free of that and being able to get on with it makes me a happy man.
I think it's really great that, especially for your startup, you really emphasize being there on the ground. So you're really aware of the challenges and barriers, when it comes to, collecting and, the supply chain behind managing plastic waste. Especially in Asia, I mean, it's, a well-known fact that, one of the weaknesses, or I would say, or barriers that Asian countries have to minimizing their plastic pollution is, like a robust waste collection platform and things like that. So it's good that, you guys are educated about that. One of the amazing things about the End Plastic Waste program, is the opportunity for startups to partner and collaborate with Alliance members. What are your goals and hopes when it comes to working with our panel members?
Plastics. As a platform, Plastics is dependent on players across that supply chain. So we welcome the conversation with corporates. We get that brands need this plastic. We know the challenges in the supply chain, and working together is the way that we are actually going to create innovative solutions. And this is a disruptor. This is taking a non-existent recycling process. It doesn't exist in the pure Western form. We're taking it and making it happen using the infrastructure that's there, which is people. That's a disruptor. And having corporates have their eyes open to that, to be willing to partner and to be active, we welcome every phone call.
Yeah. And in fact, I think... Call me now. One of the things, though, that I should point out, too, is that we are pretty experienced. We have a lot of experience in the plastics business. We have a lot of experience in business generally across a number of industries. Trish is a much storied CEO. My own history in Asia goes back years, and quite some time. And Ben, our head of science, is he's a bit of a geek, so we like to leave him locked in a room, but he's good. He knows his stuff, that's for sure. And Gillian runs our people, logistics, all the stuff that we kind of don't want to run, basically. She really does a great job. All the human capital stuff, yeah. So we've got a great team with lots and lots of experience. We're not coming into this bright-eyed and dewy. We're coming into this going, we know there's a problem, we know we have a fix, and we know with support and assistance from panel members and the like, that we can have a real impact. And that's exciting. The fact that we're doing something that has a real impact, boy, that's really fulfilling.
Yeah.
That's wonderful to hear. We obviously know that, more than 80% of our marine plastic pollution comes from Asia. And, we can even go as far to say that, Asian plastic is choking the world's oceans. Let's, pivot to your long-term plans. What are your thoughts on navigating the plastics or general circular economy space when it comes to combating plastic pollutions? And, what can organizations and we, the public, do to end plastic waste?
Fantastic. How long have we got? Our ambition is plastics was conceived and built in and for Asia. So our immediate goal is to get our pilot operational and then successful. Then that leads to commercialization. We know that it can be rolled out across ASEAN and into India very easily. It's scalable. We don't have bricks and mortar. That's why we built it this way. So, Indonesia, Malaysia, Vietnam, all areas where we can easily replicate. So that's our immediate goal. What would I like for the world? Continued collaboration, because the momentum is there. We've stopped having to talk about fish in oceans being affected. We're now talking about how do we help each other solve the problem. And if we have circular economy, plastic isn't a problem. It can be reused and reused, and that's what we've got to achieve.
Well, thank you for your time. That concludes our fireside chat. Trish, Murray, it was a pleasure to speak with the both of you. We look forward to seeing your continued success and growth in the years to come. Thank you.
Thank you. Great to speak with you.
Hi everyone, my name is Jermaine, Program Associate at Plug and Play APAC, and I support the operations for the End Plastic Waste program in Singapore. I hope you have enjoyed the fireside chat session earlier with our founder from the Plastic Circle. Now, let's hear from the next half of our startups who are working on solutions in the later stages of the plastic waste life cycle, looking at recycling technologies, reusables, and traceability. First up, we have RecycleX. RecycleX is revolutionizing green building sector by converting plastic, industrial, and construction debris into bricks, paver blocks, and tiles. Take it away, RecycleX.
Indifference is one of the biggest challenges facing climate change and global poverty. I am Ridan Gandhi, co-founded RecycleX from India. At RecycleX, we aim to make the world free of plastic and industrial waste by providing innovative and sustainable solutions. We aim to revolutionize Indian green building sector and provide a sustainable future to our communities and cities. The picture duplicates the reality and height of the problem. Every day, around 10,000 tons of plastic waste reaches our land-bound and ocean-bound, which creates extreme climate change. And to give you a big picture, out of all plastic that have ever been produced since 1960, 79% of it has been either been landfilled or leaked in our environment. Indian industries generate 170 billion tons of carbon annually. Recyclex is revolutionizing the Indian building industry by innovative products like bricks, paver blocks, and tiles made from plastic and industrial waste that are eco-friendly, cost-effective, and high quality. We are not only utilizing waste as our raw material, but also our manufacturing process is carbon negative. With this, we are creating a green impact, which social impact to various replicas. Currently, we manufacture paver blocks and bricks and blocks of different dimensions. The product range from footpath for heavy traffic areas. Our products are according to Indian standards, cheaper and durable than conventional paver blocks. Talking about blocks, which is superior in quality, weatherproof, and 3 times stronger than conventional paver blocks and bricks. Our breakthrough to be patent technology enables the production of cement-free, carbon-negative plastic reinforced concrete using plastic waste and CO2 as raw material. This would be the world's first cementless admixtures for making concrete and plastic embedding technology. The total targeted green building market in India is 50 billion US dollars by 2023. With smart cities coming up, we are targeting green and sustainable products in Mumbai and Gujarat, which is western zone of India, with about $10 billion up to 2023. That is about 340 million square feet. We are working with government bodies, municipal corporations, urban local bodies, and infrastructure projects. And we are also tapping real estate developers and private customers. We are helping to gain the knowledge of green building sector to our customers and thus initially helping them to reduce their taxes and gain green points by using our products. Also, we have a competitive range which helps our customer to go economical beyond sustainability. Our products perform better than conventional paver blocks and bricks, reduces the construction by 10 to 20% cheaper than competitors and same as conventional paver blocks. We are according to Indian standard codes and eligible for IGBC LEED certifications. So who are our target markets? Our main target markets are architectures, real estate and industrial construction. We are penetrating the market by competitive price with local market and need of eco-friendly products. We are setting up a channel partners and franchisees, setting up distribution channels around various zones to fulfill the market range. In a short period of 5 months, we have already procured and generated a revenue of almost 20,000 US dollars and achieved a milestone of 50,000 square feet. We are in process of working with Government of Gujarat, industry like Technic Energies and UNDP. We are recognized by Startup India and have also won several awards. Here are some of the projects we have done so far and achieved a milestone of 50,000 square feet of paver blocks and laid 30,000 bricks and saved 60 tons of CO2 emissions entering our climate. We have been recognized by various organizations like UNDP, the Incubation Network, Ministry of Urban Development India, and Circular Capital. We have won several awards ranging from India Australia Circular Economy Challenge, Future of Flexible Program from the Incubation Network, and Alliance to End Plastic Waste. We also won the Seeds Awards by Germany and Waste in UK. We have a team of cumulative experience of 7 years. Vidhan Gandhi, an ex-UN startup coordinator, and Abhishek Chajar with experience of green building sector. Our dream goal is to help achieve carbon neutral goals for construction and also make sustainable affordable housing. We are currently in the process of raising around $350,000, which will be majorly utilizing in new product development and setting up marketing and sales channels. Thank you and open for questions.
Our next startup is Rycron Panels. Rycron Panels is an Indian tech company that converts low-value plastic waste into quality sustainable materials for furniture, building, and construction applications. Let's give it up for Rycron Panels.
Hi, my name is Rahul Chaudhary. I'm the founder and CEO of Rycron Panels. I'm here to bring to you a solution that brings the construction industry one step closer to meeting circular economy. At Ricron, we are unlocking the value in waste plastics to deliver building materials that substitute items such as plywood, cement sheets, metal roofing, and more. Products that are commodities and that only come by from exploiting the natural resources of our planet. United Nations suggests that our consumption of natural resources triples every 30 years. One should really ask, how long can the planet keep fulfilling these demands? We are looking for a solution to this challenge, and we have found one. We are breaking the myth that materials made from waste plastic scrap cannot deliver scale. That is not true. That recycled products lack quality when compared to virgin materials. That is not true. And that they may be eco-friendly but lack the aesthetics. That is not true either. For every 1 ton of Ricron that we manufacture, we remove 3,500 waste packaging from the environment. We save nearly half a tree, and we generate USD 1,200 in commercial value. We cover a number of applications, from housing, roofing, to furniture and sanitation. We have customers who are able to offer affordable housing made entirely in Ricron for as low as $3,000 to $4,000. The house comes with a kitchen, bed, wardrobes, doors, and even flooring done in our sheets, allowing for a quick assembly with minimal labor costs. We do a number of specialty applications. For instance, we supply acid-destined flooring to the Indian Railways. We provide underground cable separators for fiber optic cable networks being put in a number of smart cities projects. We supply to over 200 customers across 20 states in India via an active distributor network. We have regular exports to the US, Europe, and Africa, showing the commercial viability and demand in even countries halfway around the world. Ricron has been validated by the market and has seen great traction in India as well as abroad. We have been PAT profitable since the last 4 years and are growing at a CAGR of 56%. Our plan is to set up additional units via joint ventures in at least 3 countries over the next 4 years. We cover large-scale organizations in both private and government sector, from building materials for large-scale construction companies to major industry leaders. Ricron is gradually becoming a bona fide building material product. The plywood and roofing industry combined have a huge market potential of $19 billion globally. The raw material source is also not a challenge, considering post-consumer and post-industrial multi-layer plastic waste amounting to nearly 500,000 tons is discarded every year. We are the proud recipient of the Nestlé's Creating Shared Value Prize in 2021 and the 2018 Climate Solver Award given to us by the WWF for our innovation in sustainable technology. Ricron is a certified green product by the IGBC, and our efforts have also been acknowledged at the UN General Assembly. Our projected impact for the forthcoming year is to convert 10,000 tons of low-value, hard-to-recycle plastics and thereby eliminating 40,000 tons of CO2 emissions. We've raised a pre-Series A funding this year, and we aim to raise another round in 2023 for geographical expansion. Thank you.
Up next, we have Ecovia. Ecovia is India's first returnable packaging as a service platform for e-commerce. They enable brands to create peak moments for their customers, thus augmenting brands' customer experience and making the online shopping experience guilt-free and trash-free for shoppers. Let's hear it from Ecovia.
Hi there, it's Dhwani Mehta, the CEO and co-founder of Ecovia. Let me quickly walk you through on our journey. Whenever you receive an online order, pretty sure you rip apart the package with all your might and strength and toss it in the bin. And we thought, as consumers, you deserve better, an experience that's frustration free, guilt free, and trash free. The problem today is brands look at packaging as a cost center, largely because of its single use nature. And this leads to inadequate investment into it and thus leading to a very subpar customer experience. Hence, we built a very simple, returnable packaging as a service for the e-commerce industry. Very simply, here's how it works. We provide our packaging to brands on a pay-per-use basis. They then ship their products in our returnable packages to their customers. And lastly, when the customers return the packaging back to us, we reward them with exclusive discounts from our brand partners. That's why brands love us. We help them differentiate from the competition by creating unique experiences for their customers. This then helps them with better retention by creating peak moments for their customers. Second, we help them become more sustainable by helping them reduce 39% of carbon emissions per shipment at least. And lastly, we also help them reduce their packaging expenses by at least 20%. On the other end, our solution creates a guilt-free online shopping experience for the brand's customers, which also adds to their delight. And our seamless returns experience and our rewards program also add to a more engaging and a fun experience for the online shoppers. Here's what returnable packaging looks like. It is made from recycled polyester, which in turn is made from plastic bottles. It is designed to survive multiple reuses, at least 100. And since it's meant for the e-commerce use case, it's also water resistant, tear resistant, and collapsible. Lastly, it also comes with a security seal to make sure it's completely tamper proof during the transit process. Seamless experience for both our stakeholders, the brands and the shoppers. For the brands, we have API integrations to make sure the data sharing happens in a secure basis. And for the customers, we have a 2-click returns process, which makes the return scheduling a very quick and a convenient process over WhatsApp. India's first and only player in a market poised for disruption and growing at a rate of 36% year on year. It is already a $1 billion space, and it has daily shipment volume of close to 25 million on an everyday basis. So far, we've served 10,000 shipments across the 10 brands we've onboarded, and largely in the space of fashion and beauty in the e-commerce space. And these brands alone have a potential to go up to 1 million shipments on a month-on-month basis. Secondly, we also have a robust sales pipeline where we're set to work with the largest and the most popular brands in the country in the both fashion, beauty, and the grocery space. We're looking to raise $1 million for our seed round, which will last us for a 12-month runway. And with this, we hope to achieve a $1.5 million ARR by the end of this year, along with serving 4.5 million shipments across the 50 brands that we would be partnering up with, and also to achieve a 50% return rate cumulatively across the categories and across the brands that we work with. Lastly, this is our team. Among the three of us, we have more than 10 years of experience across fashion, the startup world, and the textile and the manufacturing space. We've been fortunate to be mentored by veterans like Ashwin and Ashish, who belong to two of the most loved consumer brands in the country. Thank you so much for your time. Happy to address any questions you might have.
Moving into the traceability solutions, we have Karosambaf. Karosambaf is a cohesive movement for enterprises, consumers, governments, and alliances to collaborate and enable the circular economy for e-waste, plastics waste, batteries waste, and glass waste. Let's welcome Karosambaf.
Greetings, I am Pranshu Singham, the founder of Karosambaf. Karosambaf translates to make it possible in Hindi. Karosambaf is a cohesive movement for enterprises, consumers, governments, informal sector, and alliances to collaborate and enable circular economy. We are in the space of building systems and platforms for collection, recycling, and secondary material utilization. We started our work in 2017 in the space of electronic waste, then graduated to working on plastic waste in 2019. And from this year, we have started working on management of batteries and glass waste. On the plastic waste side, we were set up when an industry consortium came together with us to launch a new first of its kind entity, which is producer led and owned, for collection of post-consumer packaging with a focus on optimizing recycling processes. This group consists of over 30 plus brands, names of some of which can be seen here. This group includes both the brands, the manufacturers, and recyclers. The primary goal of our plastics waste entity is to set up infrastructure to formalize waste aggregator in the country, to set up infrastructure for collection of low value plastics as they are not being picked up as of now, to ensure we work with consumers and create consumer experiences on recycling, to enable better recycling systems, and to have a technology platform which will enable full traceability and transparency in the waste value chain. We are focused on setting up multiple types of collection channels. These are direct channels where we work with waste pickers, with office complexes, and set up material recovery facilities in partnerships with city governments. We are also working with existing service providers in this space as we are a non-compete platform. So we engage with organizations who have already set up MRFs or civil society organizations who are already working in this space. We have started setting up our direct network in multiple cities. We started with Goa, then proceeded to Aurangabad, and have very recently set up a collection center in the state of Karnataka. These collection centers will continue growing as we move ahead. We have a range of recycling partners across the country. These include recyclers who are focused on PET recycling, on co-processing, on again recycling of materials like HDPE and LDPE. We have developed a technology platform which is allowing brands to have a full view of what is happening once the waste is collected from the market, from the consumers. How is it stored? How is it sorted? How is it recycled? This platform provides full traceability and transparency in the waste value chain. We also believe that if we have to grow the ecosystem, we need to have a lot of partnerships. And to that end, Karosambhav has partnership with organizations like GIZ, IFC, International Labour Organization, Parley for the Oceans, Goa Waste Management Corporation, and many other organizations where we are discussing new partnerships. Our impact is growing. In the last 1 year, we have collected over 6,000 tons of plastic waste and multiple other varieties of waste. I'm very happy to share that this year we were announced as we were awarded the Social Entrepreneur of the Year award by the Schwab Foundation for Social Entrepreneurship. We invite you to partner with us to set up collection infrastructure across the country to enable better recycling solutions and to further enhance the technology solutions that we have created. These technology solutions or our technology platform can also be utilized in any projects outside the country and in any of the projects where you're already working. Thank you.
Our last startup, but definitely not the least, is Recircle. Recircle works with consumers, businesses, and municipalities to divert waste away from landfills or oceans back into the economy to be reused, recycled, and repurposed, thereby working towards a circular economy for waste. Let's give it up for Recircle.
Hi everyone, my name is Rahul Ninani and I'm the co-founder and CEO at Recircle. Waste is a significant global issue and more so in India. 90% of the 46 million tons of waste that we generate remains untreated and is being dumped into our landfills and oceans. The only recovery or waste management that does happen is with the help of the informal waste collectors that work without any job security, salary or dignity, affecting not only the waste pickers themselves but also their families. Recircle is a resource recovery enterprise that is working towards creating an ethical and traceable supply chain for waste to ensure that the waste stays in the economy rather than reaching our landfills and oceans. We partner with the informal workers in the waste supply chain and use technology to create traceability right from the source of waste collection to the final processing of the material. We are collecting waste currently from 35 cities across India with the help of 150 plus partners that work with over 2,000 plus informal sector workers. Some of our clients include Hindustan Unilever, Dabur, Marico, UNDP, and many more. The work that we do not only benefits the environment, but also empowers the informal waste collectors. So through our Dispose Responsibly vertical, we facilitate pickups and drop-offs for the recyclable scrap from waste generators through our digital platform. Customers get reward points for the material that they recycle with us, which can then be redeemed to support charities or for coupons from our partnering brands. The service is currently operational in the city of Mumbai, where we're collecting waste from more than 5,000 households, 100 offices, 50 plus schools. The digital platform enables us to get data right from the source of waste collection, so which customer is depositing what kind of waste in what part of the city. Now on the other side, through our responsible business vertical, we work with brand owners and plastic manufacturers to help them recover plastic waste that they put out in the environment and thereby help them go plastic neutral. Our partner network across India collects, sorts, and then ships this material to processors on behalf of the different brand owners that we work with. The material is then tracked through our digital platform to ensure traceability and non-duplication of these EPR credits. These credits are then sold to the businesses for complying with their EPR obligation or as a voluntary activity to meet their sustainability development goals. Businesses not only go plastic neutral, but also provide livelihood to the informal waste collectors by purchasing these plastic credits. Now, our vision for the organization is to work towards ethical circularity. Currently, we are only selling plastic credits for the material that flows through our supply chain. However, we envision that the material that flows through our ethical and traceable supply chain is sold as ethically sourced recycled plastic to the businesses that we work with, thereby closing the loop and providing dignified jobs to the informal sector. Over the last 5 years, we have recovered more than 15 million kgs of waste from 35 cities of India, impacting the lives of more than 2,000 plus waste pickers. Out of the 15 million kgs, 5 million kgs have been recovered in this financial year, which is equivalent to recovering more than 1,000 kgs of waste every single hour, every day. Now, to work towards our vision of ethical circularity, we're looking for businesses that want to set up recovery channels for plastic waste and introduce ethically sourced recycled plastic in their product packaging. We're also looking for investors for capital to scale up our business. We're currently raising around $1.5 million, out of which we have commitments for 40% of that now. We've been cash flow positive for the last 3 years and have been consistently growing. I'm happy to share more information and connect offline. I would just like to close by saying that what most people see as waste, we see as resources. And we see an opportunity in this problem. An opportunity to create impact by providing dignified jobs, increasing income, and working towards a more sustainable tomorrow by providing a solution to this pollution. Thank you so much.
We've come to the end of our startup pitches. Before we close this segment, I would like to announce our most engaged mentor for this batch, Om Charan Singh. Congratulations, Om. It has been a pleasure working with you over the last few months, and I'm sure our startups feel the same way. Once again, congratulations, and we look forward to working with you closely again in our subsequent programs. If you would like to find out more about our startups, please approach any one of us from Plug and Play, and we will be more than happy to connect you.